Hello, everyone, and welcome to STEAMCON 2016, where we are hosting the World Championships for Guild Ball.
Yeah,
I'm DC, and I'm here.
I'm Jamie. Sorry for cutting you off there. Hopefully you can all hear us now after the little technical audio glitch earlier. We've got 4 fantastic games lined up ahead. 8 of the best players in the world, obviously,
Right.
made their way to get here.
We have 6 players who come from their own national championships that were held around the world. And then we've got 2 players who qualified this weekend here at STEAMCON during the 2 last chance qualifier events.
Yeah, so we have got Ed Ball from the British Championships. We've got Henry Kay from the Irish. We've got Jordan Murphy from Canada. Jordan Knack from the USA. Obviously, the Northern American thing is to be called Jordan.
Right.
We've got Tim Wichanowski from Germany.
Yep.
We've got Trent Dennison from Australia. And we've got Steve Easton and Steve Newton from the Last Chance qualifiers.
Right. So if you want to win a national championship in the North America, be named Jordan.
Yep.
You want to win a last chance qualifier, try being named Steven. It'll help.
Nerf Steve, Nerf Jordan.
Yep. OP.
Obviously, they're the top-tier techs to get through those qualifiers. So let's have a look at the teams they're running. So we've had the draw done already. They're kicking off currently.
Yeah, you guys can see they're starting the kickoff right now here on the table we're looking at.
Yep. So who are we currently looking at? We are looking at Alchemists and Fisherman. So that is Steve Easton versus... Ooh, where have we gone? Not this one, not this one. Steve Easton versus Jordan Murphy. So Steve Easton, he is running Smoke, Flask, Vitriol, Hemlock, Decimate, and Mercury.
And Jordan Murphy is running Corsair, Tentacles, Veteran Siren, Grayscales, Jack, and Gutter. So that's the game that we're going to be focusing on most during the stream right now. But we will also try and give you some highlights of the other games.
Yeah, we've got a runner out there, our runner Bryce, keeping us up to date with what's going on in other games. So hopefully we can switch over, make sure we catch them as well. But from this game, what do you think is going to be the outcome?
Well, I think that both of these teams have a lot of potential to score goals, but they do both also have a solid potential for dealing some damage as well. So I think we're probably going to be looking at a 2-2 win of 2 goals and 2 takedowns. As far as who's going to win, what do you think? Who are you leaning towards here?
Well, I'll be leaning towards the Alchemists. They're currently my favourite guild at the moment. Have used both competitively myself, so... I don't know. It's not Shark, so I'm going with Smoke. Smoke's my girl.
Well, I am also a big Smoke fan, but just to be difficult and ornery, I think I'm going to have to oppose you here, and I'm going to have to root for Corsair to win.
You're going to root for the Northern Americans. I'm going to root for
Oh, that's true, too. Yep.
Okay. Look how that worked out.
I like the choice of Tentacles. I think that could prove interesting. I
Yeah.
see Salt certainly more often in my area.
Yeah, well, I always use Salt. I never really saw the attraction to Tentacles myself, but I can see the blind being handy to sort of shut down Vitriol's kick range and tack, because that's what she's fantastic at.
And he can be a bit more mobile than people expect from his stats as well.
Yeah, with a friendly follow-up.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've... talked a little bit about that. Let's move on to some of the other matchups so we can get them in perspective as well.
We'll fill you in on what they are, and we'll bop over to their tables when we need to let you know the action that's going on today.
Yep. So on table 1, we've got Ed Ball versus Steve Newton, both of whom are running Morticians.
They are indeed, both of whom are running Obulus.
Yep, popular choice for this tournament, obviously.
All right, why don't you run through Edward's list there, and then I'll go through Steve's.
Yes. So Ed is running Obulus, Vile Swarm, Silence, Gast, Rage, and Veteran Graves.
And a different direction then, because Steve Newton is going with Dirge, Mist, Silence, Avarice and Greed, and Casket.
Casket. It looks like Casket. He came through earlier to clarify that.
Sounds good. So let's do that one more time. Obulus with Dirge, Mist, Silence, Avarice and Greed, and Casket for Steve Newton.
Yeah. An interesting one, obviously. Veteran Graves and Vile Swarm being the sort of the big standouts there. They're not typically seen in the competitive Morts list.
Well, and not a whole lot of overlap in general. We've got Silence in both lists, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
And Obulus.
And Obulus, of course, yeah. Just interestingly, is there a Gast in...
Nope, there's not even a Gast in Steve Newton's lineup.
Yeah. That's a strange one. I mean, personally, I see Gast as one of the best players in the Mortician's roster. With Fear, costing that extra influence, it's a real resource drain. And
Right.
you get MP from Rising Anger.
I am with you 100%, but I also know plenty of players who consider his one influence stat to be a bit too much of a limitation,
Yep.
so they choose to shy away from him. We like to see players that have that sort of distinction, where some players are like, oh, I love that guy, I always use him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
other players choose to go a different direction with their teams.
Yeah.
So a good look at two diverse Mortician teams
Yeah,
here.
two very different sort of games. From what we're looking at, I guess Ed will be going for takeouts with Veteran Graves, Vile Swarm getting the free charge, Exploding Poison, and Silence Ghast Rage all point towards a fighty team.
Yeah.
Whereas Steve Newton obviously going footballing with Mist, obviously Silence is good with Dirge for the kick support, and we've got Avarice and Greed for that activation advantage.
A lot of times people talk about what a team can do,
Yeah.
but it's also worth thinking about what a team can stop its opponent from doing.
Yes, very much
Lists
so.
like the 5 defense Alchemists, where
Yeah.
everyone's hard to hit, hard to take out. I think Steve Newton's team has a lot of beef.
Yeah.
He's got Avarice, who's tough to take out, Casket, who's tough to take out, and then even his softer players, Mist and Silence, have high defense
High
values.
defense, yeah. So it's going to be harder to get that. What's the word? The Puppet Master. It's going to be harder to get Puppet Master off on those key players, Mist and Silence, and you probably don't really want to get them off on Avarice or Casket because they're so slow on numbering anyway.
Right.
With low kick values.
It's not as much of a return.
Exactly, yeah. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on that one from the corner of the eye, see how that goes
Yeah.
on, because I have literally no idea how that one's going to turn out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm positive how this is turning out.
Oh, yeah? Obvious wins. Stole it from you.
Yeah, you did.
Right, so we'll go over to table. get ourselves in this. Table 3.
Yep.
For Henry K versus Tim Wichanowski. And
So,
here,
here we've got a different matchup for you. Henry is running his butchers.
Yep.
He's got Fillet with Princess, Brisket, Shank, Tenderizer, and Avarice and Greed.
and Tim Wichanowski, running Morticians, is taking Obulus, Dirge, Rage, Mist, Avarice and Greed, and Silence. Exactly the same as Steve Newton.
Exactly the
Rage.
same?
There's no
No, he
Rage.
switched in Rage
Yes,
from the
just
other
one.
Morticians list we just looked
He's
at.
combined the two.
Yeah, he's got that merging
Yeah,
tech
he's
going
gone
on.
for yeah, the merge tech.
So this is a interesting one because Henry is definitely going for the takeouts with this style of Butcher's List. But with Tenderizer there, he can resist goals a bit.
Yeah, with 5+.
And with Brisket there, he might pick up a goal or possibly even 2 goals of his own.
Yeah, I mean, Brisket's got a fantastic goal threat. Fillet can do the exact same.
True.
And we got Shank in there. Shank surprisingly mobile with 4 influence still on him.
Not a super high kick stat, but with that much mobility, and if you bonus time it, that's still a very probable goal.
Yeah, 3 dice on goals, nothing to be sniffed at all, especially with that much momentum in your pockets.
Right.
That'd be an interesting one. I mean, Fillet's got the ability to get into Obulus's unpredictable movement with the blood circle, paint circle, getting the dodge off it, so she can go in, engage him. He jumps 2 inches away. She dodges back in an inch if she's successful, back in melee range, and then can start hitting him. So there is the ability there to negate some of the defensive tech on the Obulus side.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting one because you've got so much mobility in Fillet's team that even that sort of control style of Obulus could at times run into some trouble.
Yeah. I mean, we've both got Avarice and Greed, so there's going to be no activation advantage. It'd be interesting to see if Shank is one of those players who can go and take out Greed, the little guy.
Yeah.
And I guess we've not really got the same sort of person on the Obulus side to do that for their Greed.
Well, or Shank could go after Dirge as well, potentially.
Very much so. So an interesting one. I think, in my heart of hearts, I would give this to Henry K to the win, because I'd like to see the Butchers come through it, even though Philip has just lost her Butcher Civil War.
Yeah, that's true. We, if anyone missed the announcement last night, by a very, very, very slim margin, and with over 5,000 games played, we did have a eked out victory by Team Fillet. We even had some folks here this weekend wearing Team Fillet Lovable Meat T-shirts on. And, that was nice to see.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Cool. All right, so should we move on to our final game, and then we'll get back to Table 2. So going on to Table 4, Jordan Knack versus Trent Dennison.
Did I say fillet or brisket?
I think you said fillet.
I meant brisket.
Fillet Lovable Meat. You mixed the two.
No,
The two.
Sorry about that. Live recording.
Yeah, obviously you can't hide from that.
Yep. So yes, it was brisket who won
wins.
the Civil
Brisket
War,
win confirmed.
and brisket is also the more lovable meat.
Yes, of the two. Yeah. So on table 4, we have Jordan Knack versus Trent Dennison. And Trent Dennison using his union that he won the Australian championship with. And Jordan Knack using the Morticians, which he won the US championship with.
True, yep.
So both using their tried and tested teams, not switched out at the last moment to try and scupper anyone. Going through Trent Dennison's list, we've got Blackheart, Coin, Avarice and Greed, Mist, Gutter, Decimate, sort of the standard currently Union lineup, I would say. You're going for kills
That
and
is
goals.
very similar to what I ran at a tournament 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did not choose to use Avarice and Greed very much, but I had Rage in most of the time in that particular slot. But the overall roster is virtually identical. So Jordan, Morticians. We've got Obulus again with Dirge, Silence, Rage, Avarice and Greed, and Casket. So none of these Mortician lists quite the same. Similar, but not identical.
I actually just had word in that Trent's just scored a goal.
Trent has scored a goal. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go over to that table on the camera if we can.
Yeah, we are here. So we've seen the ball's probably just being kicked out. It looks like it's coming up the pitch here. Back towards Trent. See the red ball at the top here?
Yep. So Jordan is...
Looks like he's made a charge in with somebody. Only 2 hits, maybe. Confidence.
Confidence got him a few more.
1 off there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Fortunately, let's see from his roster. We got
Obulus, Dirge, Silence, Rage, Avarice and Greed, Casket. Well, it's not Avarice or Casket.
Yeah, you can tell that.
That's not Greed, is it?
No, surely not. Greed's back here with, next to his goal.
Yeah.
With Dirge and Avarice.
It looks like it's the ball.
Yeah, well, it's the ball and there's someone attached to it.
The ball makes another attack?
It looks like there might be a goal coming in return for it, so we'll keep an eye on this one. See, someone's here. Got the 6-inch widget out, ready for a shot, potentially. Or maybe not.
Yeah, both Greeds in goaltending duty.
Yeah. Looks like that was the end of a turn.
So that game is currently 4 points up for Trent.
Yep. That's definitely Obulus with that stack that's just gone down there.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wonder who he's like. Oh, that's Obulus with the ball.
Yeah.
Trent's player is below. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes so much more sense now. There we go.
Yeah, and I just had word in that Obulus actually won the initiative there.
So I think we
very
can
likely Obulus
guess
goal.
about how this is going.
Yeah.
Possibly with agreed takeout?
Maybe afterwards, yeah, go for that 6-point activation, bring it back to your advantage, and bring activation back as well.
Yeah.
We should have to. I think that's quite an interesting one. We'll keep an eye on this for the meantime.
Yeah, it does leave Obulus in a position with potential for a counter takeout.
Yes, I mean, we've got Blackheart likely to be hanging around, skulking somewhere. We can see we've got the limited edition Mist on the bottom right-hand corner.
Right.
Who probably scored the goal and then slid away.
Yep.
Yeah. See what happens there. So Union was one of the teams who've had quite a lot of changes going into Season 3. Obviously, we can talk about this all now because it's finally been and come out.
Yep.
Everyone's got their cards.
We've been so carefully trying not to talk about it for a long time, but it is time to let people know all these various changes.
Yeah. So in this matchup, we see the Blackheart, who's still got Commanding Aura and is that sort of big buffer, really,
right.
rather than the footballing master shenanigan-y.
Yeah, so he
3.
is still in his more beat stick mode rather than his more kind of a little bit trickier sort of direction that he shifted to allow Veteran Rage to really be the true standout, beat people up sort of captain for the Union, which makes a whole lot of sense for anyone who's read the Season 2 rulebook and seen that Veteran Rage is a bad man.
That's possibly one of my favorite stories in the Season 2 rulebook is that whole red, purple, yellow, all talking to Rage.
It's
very much of inside out.
And it just gives like such a unique perspective on the character.
Yeah.
One of the other things that we've had going on this weekend is a bunch of different seminars, and in one of Sherwin's seminars, he talked a lot about just how anomalous that situation was.
Yeah.
You don't kill your own team's players on the pitch. You don't attack your own team's players on the pitch to start with.
No.
Then even if you did, you sure wouldn't kill them.
No.
And they sure wouldn't be your captain. and then you wouldn't also kill the mascot. Like, it's just such a thing that just does not happen.
No, in the world of Guild Ball, like the chairman was obviously saying how important the guild relationships are. That, and even players who maybe are disgruntled and want to leave the guild, like Friday is in season 1. She says she's looking at other guilds she might move to. These are all very empty threats.
Because
the implications of leaving a guild and joining another one are so dire that they actually wouldn't go through with it. Whereas attacking someone actually on your guild, then, can you imagine the sort of uproar that must bring in guild?
Well, which also highlights some of the differences between the union and a guild.
Yeah.
The members of the union aren't tied together in the same way that a guild is.
Oh, maybe that's not obvious. We got an Avarice engaging him.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We just might just check with our runners, make sure that is.
Yeah, let me check with Bryce for a second.
Yeah. Because if that is obvious, there should be surely a shadow light coming in, or unpredictable movement. Oh, there it is. I believe it is obvious, yeah. He has just unpredictable the way. Yeah, he's just procced unpredictable movement, and Obulus has jumped away. A little bit of delay there as to the.
I'm a little surprised he is not activating Obulus. I guess he doesn't want Trent to get a good goal kick for his own
team.
Yeah.
I suppose with the players around there, the 2-inch melees look to be on the other side of the pitch in Gutter and Blackheart, and so he's got that one activation that you can jump away from because the other guys are melee zone 1. Okay. So I guess you can hold on a little bit longer because you've got that defensive tech to you.
Right.
I guess now his next activation probably will be Obulus because he's now vulnerable.
Well, and I believe that's Rage right below and to the left of Obulus. And so wanting to keep Rage engaged is also an important part of someone's game plan.
Stop those free charges.
Yeah, if you can keep Furious off the table, Rage is going to be doing a lot less damage overall.
Yeah. So it looks like there's no influence on Rage. So the free charge is not there.
Okay, and we just got word that Tooled Up has now been used on Obulus.
So that's Jordan Knack's Rage, jogged forwards and Tooled Up his own Obulus. So it's likely he's going to go for a takeout and goal. So we are looking at a 6-point potential activation. And
he's used his Shadow-like. He's now using his movement.
Oh, looks like we're going after Blackheart.
Yeah. Blackheart has a lot of tokens on him.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of influence stacked there. Taking that off the table would be fantastic.
For one person.
For one person, yeah. So
looks like 5 net hits after armor.
Yeah.
Blackheart does have that nice 2 armor
to keep him safe. But Jordan just generated a point of momentum, which I would assume is a 3 points of damage, maybe. Yeah. Let's have a look. 2 damage done.
Continuing the attacks.
Yeah. So the thing with Obulus having this huge stack and Tooled Up means that even if he just hits 1 damage each time, that's 16 damage.
Right.
And I don't believe off the top of my head that's enough for Blackheart, but it definitely puts him in the danger zone.
Yeah, 16. It's exactly 16.
Exactly 16. So if he doesn't get the goal, he will take out Blackheart, as long as he hits every time.
That's a tough choice to make, because he really wants that goal, but you can't leave Blackheart with 6 influence there.
With 2 health left that you can take away. I think the sort of influence deprivation you'd give by killing Blackheart is worth more than
goal. Absolutely. And it looks like Jordan just came to that very same conclusion and used his last influence, and there's the takeout. So that's 2 points for Jordan.
Oh, Blackheart's actually been left on 4 boxes by the looks of it, and it's dodged away.
Yeah. The last 2 what?
Which has a word from Bryce that the last 2 rolls didn't go through as he wanted.
So not quite enough damage.
Oh, which now leaves him in a tricky place. He's unsnapped the ball, so I assume the intention is someone else is going to go pick it up.
Yep.
But yeah, that's not fantastic for Jordan there. Right.
Do you know how many attacks that was? Because certainly a full stack should have done the trick.
And maybe he didn't have the full stack on him. It looks like he's left on
4 is what Bryce said.
He's got just had word in that Jordan played Steamroller during the charge action, which he forgot, but they've gone retroactively back, applied 2 damage, and that has killed Blackheart.
Oh, okay. So he in theory left him on 2, but with the Steamroller, it's just enough.
Yeah. So Blackheart is gone.
All right.
Fair play from Trent to allow that to be used. I mean,
We had gone past
If
that
we
stage,
have gone past that
but
stage,
yep.
you've forgotten to activate it. So kudos to Trent for allowing that to come back through,
Mm-hmm.
killing his captain on 6 influence.
Yeah, wow.
Fantastic sportsmanship there.
I have certainly found in the events that I've played in some truly fantastic Guild Ball sportsmanship. It's good to see it at this level, as well as the not this level that I play at.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've had it in games as well where someone's like, "Oh, I should have bonus timed this." My opinion on anything like this is if I can't influence it in some way, it's fine. Like with Steamroller, then you've declared it.
Right.
I would let it go through just like Trent did because I can't stop it. There's
Right.
literally nothing I can do in game to prevent this happening.
Well,
However,
and that's actually one of the things that's a tenet of Guild Ball development as well. We try to make abilities things where you try to remember what your own team can do, not a whole lot of that gotcha sort of element to it.
I mean, it's only really the Masons and Compound and Tenderizer who've got that gotcha moments where they countercharge you in Season 2 responsive play.
Yeah.
It's those kind of things. But other than that, it's usually the Masons player or whoever's got those players at the beginning of the game. They always tend to remind their opponents just to let you know he's got Rush Keeper.
Right.
And then if you forget it in game, that's your fault.
Yep.
That's how I've always played it anyway. I've actually just had word that on table 1, we've had Steve Newton score a goal against Ed Ball in the Mortician off.
Okay. So one of the Obulus teams scored a goal.
Yes. So that's Steve who's done that. And if we are looking at that screen now, it looks like Ed's just killed the ball over in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see his wall of Morticians in front of it there.
And is that the meat Morticians? Where they've
yes,
got lots of tough hide?
That's the fighty Morticians. So that's Obulus, Vile Swarm, Silence, Ghast, and Veteran Graves.
And Rage. Yeah. Oh, so the killy ones,
So
not
killy
the
ones.
tough hidey ones.
No.
Oh, which, we can clearly see Casket there,
Yeah.
kind of in the lower right.
Yeah. So Steve Newton playing his yellow and black, who cares who wins Morticians. Ed Ball playing his black and white, sort of ghostly Morticians.
That is how my Morticians want to look. They're on my painting table right now.
What, the ghostly ones?
Yeah.
It's a very cool paint scheme. But so that's 4-0 to Steve Newton, and it looks like it would have been a turn 1 goal by the looks of the influence spent. There's not much spent on Ed's side, so it'd be interesting to see what happens here. I think he's measuring up. Is that Veteran Graves to go and pick the ball up?
Looks
maybe?
like it.
I mean, he has got a fantastic kick value anyway. So we're sprinting, and we're going to pass to someone, or just kill it there? Nope, keeping the ball back. Right, shall we head back to the game that we wanted to originally watch?
Yeah, let's head back to
Steve
the
Easton.
Fishermen and Alchemists for a bit here.
Yeah. So, well, we've heard that one is still 0-0 on the Fisherman Alchemist game. Lots of AoEs out. Obviously, it's a smoke game.
Right. We can see one there. Looks like it's around Flask.
Yeah.
We can see a couple of others that have been thrown out onto the pitch.
Yeah, it looks like Tentacles is both on fire and poison currently.
Oh,
A
that's
sad
not
place
how.
to be.
He's just getting the water.
Yeah, put the fire out.
Yeah, get the poison off.
Yeah. An interesting one. A fisherman, or the fishermen, doing what they do best, bulking up in the middle. And the Alchemist skirting around outside. Looks like we got Grayscales out on the wing. And the ball...
And you said you typically play your fishermen in more that opposite style, to slip the net rather than to clog the middle.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, for me, it's all about Shark, Grayscales, and Sakana.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to get all the influence each turn in the sort of plan of having 3 threats on goal.
Right.
And then hopefully you get one through. I mean, Shark can score from near enough anywhere. Okay, so if we go back to the Union game on table 4... Probably we've just heard Trent has won initiative against the Morticians. So that's Blackheart coming back on with his stack of 6 on the left-hand side. Yeah.
We can see that Greed there, I believe, has moved up to engage Obulus, who has the ball.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess that must have been at the end of last turn.
Yeah, I wonder if Hemlock used tracking back, possibly?
Or to add defense to the goal, possibly. Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe. I mean, we've had quite a lot of plays come out. It looks like, from what we can see, Vengeance, Steamroller. I can't make out the other one, unfortunately. Oh, Vengeance isn't in this one. What am I talking about? That's Season 3. That's not in the Season 2 deck. Oh, dearie me.
So it's probably not that he used.
No, it's definitely not Vengeance. Whoops. That's definitely Steamroller on top. It's got a lot of text on it.
What are your thoughts on the plot cards that could be coming out in this matchup soon?
Oh, so we've had word from our runner again that over on the third table. So, yep, definitely third table. Ha, didn't get that wrong. That Tim has actually just scored a screamer. So if we pull up that one.
So the Morticians on that table have scored a screamer against the Butchers, which I believe puts them up 4-0 on this table, if I'm not mistaken.
Still reasonably early. So kicking out. This is a table we've not actually seen yet too much of, so let's try and get some board state. Looks like we've got Shank and Dirge up on the top side there.
And we've got some other models.
Yeah, we've got lots of models.
I can see Avarice.
I can see Obulus. He's got his huge pile of influence next to him.
Yeah.
Rage nearby for a cheeky little tulip. Okay, so back on table 4 on the Union Mortician game, we have heard that, there we go, Blackheart has used his legendary for the defense bonus. Everyone's gone up 1 defense. He has Shadowlight and charged, definitely, into Blackheart. Blackheart unpredictable, but obviously being 2-inch melee, jumping away 2 inches keeps you within 2. So we are looking at Blackheart wailing into Obulus here with support from Greed, most likely.
Well, but the Greed is denied by the unpredictable movement.
Yes, he jumps away. So, poor roll.
Yeah, rough rolls for Trent here.
Made up for it. 3 hits. I mean, the +1 defense keeps Greed very safe with Avarice away around the pitch because he goes back to defense 6. So there's very little chance of reprise coming in there.
Well, but with so little health, it only takes 1 or 2
1 hit. 4
good
influence,
hits.
just need 1 hit. Well, in 5 or 6 dice, you should probably do it.
Yeah. That's the thing with Greed as well as with mascots in Season 2. Something we've moved away from a bit in Season 3.
Yeah.
You will find far more often in Season 3 the number of activations will be at parity at the start of the turn.
Yep. So just had word from our runners there that Blackheart healed for 4 with the influence, with the momentum gained, and has passed to Gutter apparently, or at least tried to. I believe that was
or possibly drop the ball near enough.
Yeah.
Oh, drop snap is what you guys call it.
Oh, no, I just made that up.
Oh, we call it drop pass.
Drop pass. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Drop snap is probably better.
Catchy. Okay. Yep. Just had word that from table 3, the Butchers just killed Silence and is now 4-2 to the Morticians.
Makes sense. Silence is a tough one to take out.
Yeah. So,
but if it was Fillet, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised at all. She can do near enough anything. Just for those of you watching at home, obviously we're trying to track 4 games at the moment, so lots of information coming in at once. After this game, it drops down to 2 games, and then later on we have full focus on the final. So the games that drop and the guys who lose, we will not be recording their games, so you'll get much more in-depth commentary and probably more focused commentary later in the day.
And we'll probably even know what models we're looking at.
Yeah.
If we're looking at one screen.
One screen for long enough, we can track it.
Yeah.
Jumping between them is pretty difficult when you're like, what? Which one's that one?
We need one of those telestrators.
Yeah.
Where we could draw lines on it and have all the information.
That'd be fantastic. Right, Steamforged next year. I'd like that bit of tech, please. I'm sure we can twist arms to get that.
Wow. Balls
getting
going
just kicked
out
into
of
space.
the.
So kicks unsuccessful. So scattering. I guess he's hoping 3 inches. Oh, runner's just come back to us. Okay, we've had word from the game we wanted to watch, but had not much happening. Table 2, Jordan Murphy versus Steve Easton. Jordan Murphy's just taken out Hemlock for a 2-0 lead. So it looks to be quite a cagey game on this one. Not really too much happening. Obviously, the attritionmen don't die. That's their that's their shtick. And the Smoke team like to play a bit more of the long game as well.
Well, and the fact that the Fisherman team does like to group up a bit makes them a bit more vulnerable to a Smoke team.
Yes,
You've got the potential for for various damaging AoEs that can then be shifted over into the other models to get a whole bunch of people on fire all at once.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, having both Mercury and Decimate. Mercury, Decimate, and Hemlock, well, until she died, means there's the 2 AoEs to go out, which is the poison and the fire.
Right.
And smoke very quickly can flip them, make that 4 AoEs on the table,
Yep.
and then draft all of them around with very minimal influence to get everybody conditioned up. And that means that the fishermen have to spend a lot of their hard-earned momentum just to get rid of the conditions or to heal. I mean,
And that they can't likely do both.
Yep, so we just had word that on the Trent Dennison game, Trent had missed in space for a snapshot, tried to pass to it, and failed it. So, which is a sad thing to see, because I do like to see football like that happening.
Right.
So it looks like we're scattering the dice currently, maybe? No, there's some attack going on. Don't know if the ball must have intercepted and snapped too.
Snapshots can be so much fun.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially if you've got a ton of influence to bonus time it.
I was going to say, especially if you've got MASH.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Season 3, Mash and Harry. I can't wait.
Yep.
3 snapshots. Tink, tink, tink. Yeah.
Do love my Brewers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to say, though, because I also love my Union and my Alchemists. And can't wait to play some Season 3 Engineers.
Oh, on Table 2, it looks like we've just had Smoke's Legendary. We can see a little bit. Oh, okay, big
All
news.
right.
We've just heard that on Table 4, Casket has just put Blackheart in the casket. So that's 4 VPs scored for a single takeout, and we're going to be without Blackheart for 2 turns. Well, at least 1 full turn.
Yeah, and that means that Blackheart's takeouts at this point now account for all 6 points that Jordan is sitting on.
Yep. Oh, dear. That's dreadful news.
Sad day for the captain.
Yeah. Fantastic day for Casket, though. I mean,
Fantastic day for Casket.
He's got some work to do.
I wonder if Blackheart might rather just get stabbed in the back by Rage.
Yeah, I think I would prefer that to a life in a casket, buried underground.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He's just over quick with Rage.
Yep.
Oh, dear. So, back onto Table 2. It looks like we've just had the Legendary from Smoke, because, well, I assume
Looks
so,
like it.
due to the
A lot of AoEs
AoEs
out there.
Oh, back onto Table 4. I think we should just stick on Table 4, to be honest. It's just where all the action's
This one's going to be over quick, apparently.
Yeah. So, apparently, Trent's just scored. It's now, what did you say?
8-6.
8-6 to the Union.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 2 goals versus 2 takeouts, one of them being a casket time, putting the game at 8-6 in the Union's favour, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, even with the loss of, even with the missed pass, and with the loss of Blackheart twice, we're still seeing an 8-6 lead at the moment for the Union.
I mean, it's going to get tough, though, without Blackheart, that big utility piece for them to sort of maybe close this game off. They're going to lose 4 influence.
Yeah, so much influence. Yep.
For at least 1 turn, and then when he does come back on, he's going to be very weak again.
He does have 2 goal influence, though.
He has got 2 goal influence, so I guess we're only looking at a -2 from the starting pool.
Right.
So not too much to worry about. And the Morticians haven't scored any goals, so they're not up on any influence. So
right.
I guess technically you're only down 2. It's like missing a player if they're
Well, and the activation, very important.
Yes, well, yeah. Now, I believe the runners said that on Table 1, Ed Ball versus Steve Newton, Steve Newton scored another goal and is winning 8-0 currently. Yep. And on Table 3, there's been a takeout, putting the Morticians up to 6-2. He's taken out Briskets. Yeah, so lots just happening very quickly there. Seems to be the way this whole tournament's ramping up, is that not much to begin with, and then a hell of a lot at once.
Yeah, once you get into turn 2, you can see a whole lot of points going around.
Yeah. Interestingly, no turn 1 goals. Obviously, both players on every table looking to prevent all those from happening.
Right.
Which is quite a unique thing. Typically, you do see some turn 1 goals, especially with Mist knocking around.
Mm-hmm.
That tends to be the Mist's thing.
Yeah, we got several Mists.
Yeah.
So
this is the Butchers versus Morticians table, and it's currently 6-2 to the Morticians. Obulus there dominating the middle with his big
Yep.
stack. I don't think that's moved.
It's easy to find him.
Yeah, easy to spot. Rage still behind with his one for the tool up and potential kill. Yeah. So going back to the table 2, the one we've still wanting to watch. I believe still 2-0 there.
But we can see the effects of what smoke can really do. We've got all these AoEs knocking around and all these condition tokens on virtually all of the fishermen.
Yeah, so that is pretty grim for the fisherman team. That's going to be 3 damage, getting through all the tough hide at the end of the turn, and then it's still there next turn as well. You've still got to clear it off. Not a fun place to be in. Fantastic fun for the Alchemist players.
Right,
This is how the
right.
Alchemist should be playing, in my mind.
Still, now here comes some scoring.
There goes Tentacles. So that's two VPs and activation advantage to the
Alchemists there. Which brings them to 4, I believe? Or does it bring it to 2-2?
I believe it's to 2-2. Hemlock got taken out earlier.
Right, Hemlock.
But with Tentacles gone, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
No, you lose that activation, you lose that influence for the rest of the game now.
A very close game still, but the Alchemist putting a lot of pressure on the fishermen to
do something.
Yeah.
I mean, the ball's still in the Alchemist possession, which is fine for the Alchemist player. They're happy to play this longer game, hold the ball, deny the fishermen the goals.
And they could also convert that into a goal of their own easily.
Yeah, we just had it confirmed that every single fish model is on fire or poisoned.
Or
poisoned.
both. Oh, and poisoned.
Critically
all of them.
and poisoned. Wow. Fantastic play from Steve there to get that off. We're looking at Steve Easton here. Yeah. So influence going out for what we assume is turn 3.
Yep, definitely looks like
game.
turn 3 there.
Yeah. Cool. So momentum, both on. Well, we've just had word from someone that Steve tracks momentum for both players on the card on his right hand side that his arm's currently over. So
momentum or points?
Momentum.
Okay.
Well, that looks like VPs to me. We shall see. Oh, had a judge calling on table 1. If we go to table 1, please. Had a judge calling. Apparently, they can't tell the difference on something. Back to table 1. Check who's underneath the template. So we've got Bryce coming in here to check for us.
This is the Ed Ball Morticians versus the Steve Newton Morticians table.
Yeah.
Definitely going to have quite a few models affected, but exactly how many will be up to our head judge.
Yeah. It's great to see everybody using widgets as well. I mean, every table's littered in them. It just makes the game that much more precise when compared to using tape measures. And good to see Bryce getting in there with multi-widgets as well. Oh, that's some weird maths challenge.
Someone will have to invent a brand new widget.
Yeah. For this very moment. Oh, what it could be is like an AoE like this, but with a laser pointing down.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be great.
Could be like shaped like a UFO. You just push the button on the top and
yeah, down it goes. Still watching it here. So this ability must be for the embalming fluid.
I believe so. It's what I would expect to be happening right now.
It's the only AoE available, so yeah.
I don't see silence, but
No,
I still think it's embalming fluid.
Yeah, it must be embalming fluid. So I wonder where his silence is. I wonder if he's not moved yet. He's measured to that point.
Oh,
and then
yep. There goes the other widget
yeah.
to if silence moves here and then AoE's here. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Steve planning out his move there.
So let's see. Is he going to
go
go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
Or not bother because he couldn't get all 4?
Yeah. I still think he'll do it. Just probably
Oh, yeah.
hit the one that he wants to.
Yep. Or I think he's going to get 2, but would have left Silence a little more vulnerable if he could have gotten a full 4.
Yeah. So the ball in this game still in the bottom left-hand corner. It seems to have been scored, kicked out there, scored again, kicked back out there.
Yeah, interesting that the ball did play a pretty big part of the game and now is a bit of a dead ball.
Yeah. And I guess Steve's plan here would be get it. Oh, he's hit with someone.
Believe that's a hit and a miss.
Yeah. I think that's a hit on Obulus. But yeah, so I in my mind's eye would think that Steve would be looking to get 2 takeouts here to close the game out. He needs two takeouts or a goal, and the ball obviously being dead. His Obulus is above it, and you can see his yellow cape there. So maybe at the start of the next turn he can just, tread light back, Puppet Master walk over to it, walk back, hit someone, dodge, take a shot on goal. Now that would be...
Currently it looks like he's engaged by Vile Swarm and possibly Veteran Graves.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, I definitely think Steve's got the toolkit and the position and the board control to do this now. Should be great for him because he's not been playing, he said, for quite a lot recently. So to go into the the last chance, win it, and then win his next game here really shows his quality of player.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so if we go back to table 4, we've heard there's been a wrap up here. It's finished 12-8 Jordan Murphy. Not Jordan Murphy, Jordan Knack, sorry. Jordan Knack has won this first game against the Mortician, against the Union, by Trent Dennison.
That's Trent Dennison against Jordan Knack. Yeah. And do we know what happened to get him from 6 points up to 12?
I do not. We've not had from the runners what was the winning play, but I'm sure we can get that from them when they come back round.
Well, it looks like a goal.
Yep.
Because there's Obulus, sitting on the goal.
In his red, white, and blue cape. Yeah, so that is Jordan Knack with his Morts through to the next round.
Yep. So between the Blackheart takeouts, 2 points for a Blackheart takeout, then 4 points for a Casket Time Blackheart takeout.
Yep.
2 more points for somebody dying.
Somebody dying, we assume.
We can make up who it is.
Yeah. Blackheart again.
And then, Blackheart again. No! He's in the casket.
Yeah, he's in the casket.
But then 4 points for the goal, and that is the wrap on that table.
Yeah.
What was the other takeout?
Okay, so we've just heard from Jalen Perkins that the final goal scored was by Obulus. He had possession of the ball, went up to the opposing Avarice, beat on him for some momentum, then walked up to the goal into base contact, so he'd have 3 attempts left at the shots, and scored and closed out the game. So a great game there.
And Greed was the other takeout.
Greed was the other takeout, yeah, we thought it might have been.
Yep.
Cool. So back on to table 2 here now, since that game is over with. And everyone still looks to be on fire and poisoned.
Indeed, so we know which table this is.
Yeah. Using our STEAMCON dice there, very nice. I had word as well earlier that on the Henry K game, he took out Dirge for a 2-point activation, and it's now 6-4 to the Morticians.
To the Butchers. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still 6-4. Mortician's still in the lead.
So, but Butchers
closing
getting 2 points to close the gap.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think I'd want to trade Brisket for Dirge.
No, me either. No. And the -4 momentum must have been worth it.
Oh yeah, there is that. Butchers can make so much momentum though.
Yeah, they can. They can earn it back very quickly. So if we can move back to the Steve Newton Ed ball game, we can see that the ball's still in the same place. AoE's dropping out everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess that's if we see Casket on the right-hand side of the pitch, looks like he's got the orange AoE and the black AoE. So one of them's a fire, because he's on fire, and the black one likely a ghostly visage to reduce the charge range by -4 against him.
Yep.
Obviously, with his foul loader rough ground around him, that's a -6 to try and reach him. So he's just completely denying himself.
Very difficult for anyone to deal with Casket on that at that point. We also see on the left, around the yellow-cloaked obelisk, that more of the ghostly morticians have come into position to try to present that goal attempt that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. We were told from the runners earlier on that Ed is actually trying to box in Obulus. I mean, it can happen if you get 3 players in a triangle around a player, they literally can't get out unless they've got push dodges. So if Ed can get Obulus into that position, sure, Obulus can hit somebody, generate a ton of momentum, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, with as much influence as Obulus can have, though,
He could probably just kill
there's
somebody.
not a lot of players who will feel safe doing that boxing.
No. I mean, Veteran Graves is a good shout with Def 3 Armor 2. It sort of reduces the potential for damage. It looks like Rage there as well, because Steve's Obulus is bleeding. And then obviously we've got Vile Swarm ready to explode at some point and put the poison out there, get all 3 on him.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to give up Vile Swarm at this point in the game, though.
Very true.
Not with it at 8.
8-0, we still assume. Doesn't look like Steve's lost anyone. Maybe Dirge, or he's just hanging out behind the goal.
Other than Obulus, everyone
very safe, aren't they?
Yeah. Very safe, but also a bit disengaged from possible takeouts of their own.
Yeah, so if we check out Steve's roster, I believe he's got Mist on his team. It looks like it would be Mist skulking around the side there to try and get the ball. We're looking at Steve Newton.
So many papers. Sorry, everyone.
We've mixed up our team sheets in front of us.
We can set these aside. That game's done.
That game's done. There we are, Steve Newton. Yeah, he has Mist on his team. I believe he has the limited edition one. I could be mistaken.
Mistaken. Oh, Jamie.
Looks like Steve's Mortician starting to spread out now. Okay, so we've had call that a judge's decision is being made on table 3 currently. Bryce seems to be leering over the table to see if someone's in range to do something. So if we go
this
to that
is
one.
the Butcher Mortician game. Henry against Tim.
Yep. So it looks like that is Obulus attempting to reach over and get to one of the butchers.
We believe this game is still at 4 points Butchers, 6 points Morticians.
Yeah, so on this table we still see Obulus in the center with his pile of influence. It doesn't look like the game's really progressed that much since we last came to it. I mean, he's still there. Rage might finally be tooling him up with his 1 influence. Maybe not. Or do it and then run off. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Makes more sense there. We have just heard as well that on table 2, the Fisherman Alchemist game, that Vitriol's been taken out, so it's currently 4-2 to the Fisherman. Very slow burning game, this one. This is Steve Easton versus Jordan Murphy. So Fisherman's in the lead 4-2. And a very, very slow game.
Well, slow burning and poisoning game.
Slow burning and poisoning. Very good. So we've got Mercury coming in.
We are seeing a lot more engagement, though, than we did earlier.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the ball's still on smoke, so nice denial there. And Mercury putting the damage out there. Damage and push.
I think that might give him a gang up, crowd out sort of situation.
Yeah,
looks like. Jordan's got a tough choice to make of who to activate to try and swing some momentum in his favor here.
I mean, he has to generate momentum at some point to get rid of all this condition damage that's coming through.
Exactly.
But like when I played at British Championships and I used smoke, I found people tend to let things go through because if you see there, smoke's got a little stack on her. 1 AoE can become so much more with that players can think, well, if I spend this, for now 5 MP to reduce all these conditions, I'm just going to get them back on me again. So maybe I'm better just to heal.
Right.
which means the damage just constantly ticks. They're still spending momentum, which is great for you because you can win the initiative roll, you can do more things in the turn, and that 1 damage ticks through every time if you've got this out there.
Yeah, a lot of times with many different condition situations, it can be the better move to heal.
Yeah.
The part where you can't do both makes it a difficult choice.
Yeah, or very expensive where he like removes and then heals from a teamwork, which
Yeah.
just multiplies the cost so much. It's not worth doing.
It's not even possible to generate that
No.
much momentum in many cases.
No, especially not with a fisherman team that don't have the ball. Don't know what Steve's doing with his pen there.
It's a barrier he's set up. Protect his goal.
Yeah.
Contemplating possibly a goal attempt using a
Yeah.
cloud.
Yeah, so cloud jump to jump. Obviously, you can put the cloud down within 4 inches. You jump into it onto the very extremity of the side. It's almost like an 8-inch where they go, I call it.
Right. Fair enough.
Then he'll walk 4 inches forwards, and then a shot on goal with 4 dice is pretty reliable.
Yeah. Smoke
This
can
is-
be such a good goal threat.
Unexpected as well.
Right. Most people expect clouds or the AoEs are getting generated, they're getting pushed around. You don't always think about, and yeah, here we are,
Here we are,
definitely seeing
4 inch forwards.
a smoke jump teleport.
So I guess we're checking the range here. He's got his proxy base staying outside
Sure.
of 2 inches.
Yep.
Make sure there's no part and blow on the way out.
That would be a bit of a waste. Don't
Yep.
want to have that. Yeah,
That's
looks
it.
like he's got plenty of room.
Yeah, 6 inches forwards. Maybe trying to get within 4 inches for a tapping goal.
Possibly.
Yep. So cloud jump.
Yeah,
sprint
and
forwards.
that's even well within 4.
Yep. Spends momentum for the shot on goal. And definitely a goal. Can see it
Yep.
there from the Kickstarter Guild Ball dice. Big gold symbol. Goal for the Alchemists. Looks to be 6-4.
That's getting some action going on that
It's getting
table
there.
now.
Yep. And obviously goal influence now as well. But obviously, in doing so, you put the ball back in the fisherman's favour, and they
Right.
can just score from near enough
And
anywhere.
the fisherman blob.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes, because that could make a big difference.
Yeah, you don't want to see a 1 and a 6. 1 for direction, 6 for distance right now. Let's have a look.
Oh, he
Direction
backed it up
6.
a little to be on the safe side.
Direction
Oh,
6,
that's going to
distance
land.
4. So lands just next to the fisherman. Okay, quite an interesting play just happened
Absolutely.
on table 1. We've had word that Ed Ball's veteran Graves used Gravedigger and took out the Obulus. So it's currently 8-3 to Steve Newton, but interesting choice to go with Gravedigger there. I mean, it gets you the extra VP, granted, but it means in Season 2 you're going to need another Gravedigger takeout to make it really count.
True, but, I mean, who doesn't want a Gravedigger Obulus?
Yeah, put him into his place.
We do also have the potential for clock victory points.
Very true, very true. An interesting point on Ed's sort of journey to the Worlds, I guess, is that in the British Championships, he won 3 of his 5 games by clocking out his opponents.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so definitely some possibility there.
Yeah. I mean,
It's interesting to see. In some events, we see very little clocking out,
Yeah.
and in others, we see a lot more.
I think the sort of the game style that Ed played for in the British Championships was to force so many decisions on his opponent that they
Right.
took time on their clock whilst thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And he, even though the games tended to be sort of very cagey until the end, and then Ed would unleash some master plan and
Right.
and bring it forward. He's been running around the British tournament scene quite recently, winning quite a lot of sanctioned events that I've had to put store credit onto his account for. I don't think he needs to put any money out now for the farmers when they're released. And he was saying that in his last tournament, he was 10-0 down going into the sort of the final rounds.
Oh, wow.
And brought it back to a 12-10 win. So even though Ed looks to be in a weak position, I wouldn't count him out just yet.
Yeah, the game can go back and forth so much.
I mean, it can very quickly swing.
Seen
can't
so
it?
many games. I haven't seen a whole lot of ones that go from 10-0 over to a victory, but a lot of times 8-0.
Yes, yeah. It's still so doable where you just play safe, kill the ball, make sure it's in a safe place, which it currently is.
Yep. Yeah, you're never truly out.
No. And the only way for the sort of the opposing player, Steve Newton, to come in and close this game is to go in and kill someone, and by sending someone in to do that or start that chain off, he opens himself up to the entirety of the Ghost Morticians.
Right. Who do have a lot of potential for damage there.
Yeah, I mean...
we've got Gast right now making some attacks, but we've also still got Silence, Rage, Veteran Graves, of course, since he just did the takeout himself.
I mean, even Vile Swarm,
yep.
the Furious Charge, just makes it that... not Furious Charge, the Vindictive Charge.
Yep.
So costing 1, just makes it a little bit more punchy than Dirge would be.
Well, and the other one that's interesting to think about in situations like this is the potential where...
Oh. Silence there on very little health on the right-hand side of the screen.
Final attack, though, didn't quite take him out.
Couldn't close him off, no. It looks like he's knocked down, though. These star tokens, I believe, are knockdowns from the Who Cares Who Wins template set that Steve's using there.
Yeah, the Vile Swarm versus Dirge, another aspect of it, we've talked a couple of times about having that activation advantage over your opponent.
Yep.
And with being able to bring Vile Swarm back, well, you can bring Dirge back too. In this matchup,
it's not
yeah.
But it's still momentum that's being spent to do it.
Right.
But yeah, it for both these players, for the Morticians in general, because they've got creation in their guild, so readily available, they don't lose the activation advantage in Season 2 that the other guilds do.
But over on Table 2, Tentacles is not coming back.
Sadly not, no. Little tentacles.
I shudder to think what a model with creation tentacles would look like.
Oh, well, yep. So this game, with Silence being that close, Dirge looks pretty beaten up as well. In fact, quite a lot of the players...
I don't know if Dirge is beaten up. He's only got 5.
Oh, true, yeah. It could just be the black spot on his... Oh, dear.
So Obulus is somethinging.
Where are we looking here? Sorry.
I believe Obulus in the dead center there just activated.
Yep.
Did some stuff.
So Silence is going back for the ball finally.
We will be able to give you guys a bit more detail, like we said, once there's fewer games to track all at once.
Yeah. Interestingly, you've seen Steve Newton's his backboard, his backfield. We've got Dirge in one corner, Greed over in the other.
Yep.
2 weak players just hanging out, cheering to the fans.
Taking an activation and passing it back to the team.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Greed just activated.
Yep. Greed little wiggle.
Oh. Stay in cover possibly there? Looks like he already was.
Possibly. I'm not entirely sure what's happening
just
there.
in position. Oh, did they just have a judge call?
Maybe.
I heard someone yell judge.
Ah.
Maybe let's head away from this one for a moment. We know they're at 8-3 for now.
Yep. Go into Table 2. Back to the Fisherman Alchemist game.
Sounds
Steve
good.
Easton versus Jordan Murphy.
Huh.
Still.
Not as many AoEs out on the board as we're used to seeing on this table.
Not at all. Still plenty of fire and burning, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is our red ball token currently? Has there been a goal? Oh, there it is there. Just at the top. To the left of where...
Hiding behind... Is that Corsair?
It looks to be. It's the only big guy on that team, isn't it? So potentially Corsair...
Got to rub it in. Yeah. Tentacles is dead. We know, Jamie.
So Corsair likely to have the ball there, which is decent for Fisherman.
Yeah.
Get the play around, get a legendary up, get some sneaky goals
in.
Yeah,
he hasn't really had a reason to use his legendary yet, so my guess is that he's still has that available.
Yeah. I mean, we typically see Smoke's Legendary coming out on turn 1 or 2, so
Yeah, I usually do turn 2.
for me it's turn 2 as well. It just really turns the notch up on the condition game.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
a clutch momentum roll, I believe, there. Or initiative roll.
initiative roll, yeah. It's the same thing. Let's be
Yeah, it uses momentum. We knew what I meant.
So 3 more damage to every fisherman player. Some of them
Seems pretty good.
Some of them must be really hurting by now.
Yeah, even a model like Jack who has tough hide,
It's just
15 total health points.
Yeah.
Those conditions start to really add up.
5 turns, he dies.
That is a long game.
It's a very long game of Guild Ball, to be fair. But the interesting thing is he's running Decimate in this game. Oh wow! So we just had word from the runners there that every model on the Fisherman's team is on 6 boxes or lower, which is Decimate territory.
Oh, easily.
So reliable at putting out damage with Tac 6.
That
Atomical.
could even be 2 takedowns for Decimate, depending on the model's Jeff and arm stats.
I mean, I was going to say before we got that word that Decimate is fantastic in this team because Smoke and the condition players can get people down to sort of 7 or 8, and then people start to heal. And Decimate will run in and finish them off
the job
before they get a chance to sort themselves out. It's a shame we're not seeing Veteran Catalyst. I mean, I guess he was released this weekend, so they probably not had a chance to get it painted up. Well, Veteran Catalyst in the Alchemist is, in Smoke Alchemist specifically, is just brilliant. Because
Well, he fills that same role.
Yes.
You whittle him down, you get the condition game going, and then Veteran Catalyst charges in and finishes the job.
Yep. So we've got some info there. It didn't quite come through. We were saying that Veteran Catalyst, with his heroic play, the takeout, where it becomes doubled up to 4 VPs,
Right.
means you need 2 goals, which with Smoke, Vitriol, potentially missed in Guild, then that 2 goals is not beyond the realms of belief.
Right.
And Catalyst for 1 takeout in a team that has Smoke popping out all the conditions is quite a reliable takeout. So we just had word that it's currently 2 momentum for Jordan Murphy, but he can't clear all the conditions with that, obviously.
That means we'll see some more fire and some more burning or poison.
Fire
and burning.
And
yeah,
burning,
yeah.
It's a new condition, fire, to go along with burning.
Poison and burning going into the next round.
A shame we've not got Venom in here just to really turn it up and put bleed out there as well.
You could.
I mean, against this team and the way this match has gone, Venom would be a nice addition in
Yeah,
here.
he actually would.
You know, they're so clumped together that if you went to popped, I can never pronounce that word, coagulation.
Yep, coagulation,
to turn all the poison into bleed and have poison, bleed, and burning, 6 damage popped away.
Well, then suddenly the decision of heal or clear conditions is a lot easier.
Yeah, then it's like, I'll clear that condition. Yeah. Season 3 Midas putting out Snared as well. That's what you want. You want
There you go.
1 model with all 4 conditions. Would be crazy. Oh, 5. You can get knocked down as well.
Yep.
Yep.
The one that is easy to forget about when
It
talking about the condition game because it doesn't deal damage, but such an important condition.
Yeah.
And accessible to everybody, not just certain teams.
Yeah. It's a point when I play my Brewers, I constantly forget, because I just see them as a knockdown team.
Yeah.
I don't think of them as playing the condition game.
Right,
But really, they're playing the knockdown condition game.
They are. As much as the hunters are playing the snare game, at least.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, between the various interactions with the knockdown condition, as well as putting it out so easily, they have a lot of that kind of parallel to snared.
Yeah, so our runners just came back to us. If we go back to table 1, we can see, firstly, that the ball has moved. Oh, flicking through the tables. The ball has moved. Oh, no, it's not. Well, it's not at all. But Steve's silence has been taken out, so it's currently 8-5 to Steve Newton.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier about how game could go from 8-0 to a very close game so quickly, and now we're up to 5-8.
Just had a word on the sort of the almost forgotten table, really. The Henry Kay versus Tim Wichanowski. It's currently 10-4 to Tim. He's just taken out Brisket to make that 10.
That's pretty rough for the Butchers. Being down 10-4 means just one more takeout.
Yeah. I mean, the Morticians can just put out that control game so well that the Butchers probably just haven't been able to get into it by the looks of it. Obviously, Tender Eyes has been hanging back. The game doesn't seem to be moving towards that goal too much.
You can see Avarice and Greed over there.
Yeah.
Behind a little outhouse.
Little shack, yeah.
And Obulus also has the ball, so might not even go for a final takeout, might go for a goal.
No, I think I just heard him, overheard him fire the thing saying he's unsnapping the ball.
We've got a lot of Mortician influence right near the Butcher goal.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what model that is from here.
No. Me either.
It's definitely Casket. Just kidding.
Okay, so back on the Alchemist fisherman table, we've heard that Grayscales has gone down, and it's currently 8-4 to Steve Easton. So
that is a lot of takeouts for Alchemists. We didn't predict that it would go quite this takeout heavy.
No, we thought 2 goals, 2 takeouts, but it is currently that. We might see one more goal, although with
That's
the ball
true.
being on Corsair or near him, it's probably not coming off him for anytime soon. I mean, with the fisherman being this low health, it might just be far simpler to go and kill 2 players.
And is that mist there or is that a smoke there still all the way on the left? She hasn't tracked back at all.
That's correct. Yeah. So she's in range for a snapshot goal. Oh wow! So back on table
Big
1,
news.
what we talked about earlier on, Ed Ball has now Gravediggered Mist, so it's currently 8-8. Ed, they're bringing it back from the 8-0 to 8-8.
Yep.
Can he do it again?
Well, and you were saying,
I'm saying this is what he
should he really Gravedigger? It's only 1
no.
point. How do you make it work? He made it work.
He made it work. Well done. So 1 goal or 2 takeouts now to do it.
Right. Well, on either side.
On either side, yeah, this game really ramping up.
It's 2 goals to 3 takeouts, but 2 of those are augmented takeouts for 8-8. Very interesting and close game going on.
Yeah. Great to see Veteran Graves being played as well.
Yeah.
He's only been released reasonably recently.
Right.
Obviously got Vile Swarm in there for it. But, tried and tested, do you go with your sort of your standardized and making the sort of
air quotes
there, yeah, standard Morticians? Well, it's nice to see Ed not using Avarice and Greed is a trend currently in Season 2.
Right. Well, it's interesting because it cuts both ways.
Yeah.
You might not know the model as proficiently as one of your other models, but you can rest assured that your opponent probably doesn't either.
Yes, very true.
See some planning out of
it looks
trying to maybe get that ball back from Silence.
Yeah, it looks like Obelisk has got his stack of 8 on him, trying to close the game out.
Well, it does look like Silence is just out of that cover.
Yeah, it does. We're going to see a Puppet Master. Confidence himself. Puppet Master Silence, make sure it happens. He gets it, gets the influence back. And I assume we're going to see Silence now try and pass the ball to Obulus, make a 4-inch dodge forwards. He's successful. Yep.
Still don't think he's going to be in range. Has he moved yet?
No, he's I believe.
Oh, just Shadow-like.
Shadow-like.
Yeah.
Will now make a 4-inch dodge, likely towards Silence. Walk around to the other side, hit him for dodges.
Maybe hit Vile Swarm for dodges. Yeah, potentially.
So, we take the 4-inch dodge there.
Oh, interesting.
So, Silence, Puppet Master to pass the ball to Obulus. Obulus takes the dodge off the pass.
Yep.
I assume we're going to see the ball moved along with Obulus.
I'm surprised he moved him quite that, pinned up against the
cover.
Against the terrain there, because now he's going to have to change the angles a little bit, move around slightly.
Making a 2-inch dodge. So this isn't a what's the word? I always get these confused. I don't want to get it wrong. It's not a barrier. Oh,
Barriers are the big ones.
that's
Yep.
the big ones, yeah.
Yep.
So this isn't a barrier. He can move through it.
Yep.
So he's obviously dodged onto it there. They've put the token down to represent him standing on that bit of
Yeah,
terrain.
well, that's one way to not have to go around it, is to just to
Just
do
go
a
through
dodge up and a dodge down, as long
Yeah.
as you get the results you need for that.
I mean, I believe Obulus has the dodge on 1, so he needs 1 hit from 6 dice on a Def 5 model, which is reliable.
But you do need a double dodge
Yes,
to get
yeah,
up or down
Sure.
an obstacle.
Well, that's I believe that's 2 hits for him. You can just confirm that, but
Yep.
I'm pretty certain it's 2 hits.
But against F5, 2
Yeah.
hits aren't a guarantee.
It's not guaranteed, but it's still average on 6 dice. Yeah, double dodge and 2 hits.
Only takes 1 die to go not average to
Very true, very
really. We've all seen people miss goals with even like 5 or 6 dice. Can be a real change to what you thought was going to happen next.
Most definitely. You just put your whole turn into a rye. Are we going to continue the advance or last one? Steve there stopping to think. What's
Yeah.
my best plan of action
Tallying
here?
tallying influence versus momentum versus distances.
Well, it looks like something's actually knocked down, so it would have been 4s. That's the
Oh, that
spiky-
makes it a lot easier. Yeah. A lot more reliable
Yeah.
to get those 2 results.
Generate the room. I guess we also see Ed's Obulus with 4 influence on him. So if Steve Obulus doesn't get away or score, it's likely that we're going to see Ed's Obulus Puppet Master
Try
it
to
back.
score,
Yeah,
potentially.
Puppet Master it back to somebody else.
Oh, well, clearly, looking at the table state, we know what's going to happen. You got to get the ball to Gast.
Yes.
Gast
obviously.
is your top
Gast-
scorer.
Gast snapshot.
A Gast snapshot.
Calling it for the win.
But it could happen
Could happen. We
with
are
some bonus
being
time.
heralded. Okay, so back on table 2, the Fisherman Alchemist game. We just had word that it's currently 10-8. The Fishermen have scored a goal and taken out Hemlock again. So it's back in the Fisherman's favour.
That's got to hurt. Taking out Hemlock a second time.
Yeah.
She only comes back with 3 health in Season 2.
Yeah. That's something you've got to be conscious of when we're talking about models, that we may occasionally slip into Season 3 just because we've been looking at them in the office so much.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have kind of shifted gears internally, so if we do make a small error, please forgive us.
Yeah, please. I mean, I've not really played too much of Season 3. I've been involved a little bit, but I've still got Season 2 mainly in my head, but I do start to think of Season 3 more rather than Season 2.
Yeah, when I catch myself and I'm like, oh, right, mascots don't come back.
Yeah.
And things like that,
Yeah.
where it's like it's so ingrained
So,
in me now.
Taking out tentacles, that's 1 VP. Oh, wait,
Right,
no,
right.
that's wrong. So, over on the Mortician off, we've just seen, you've not seen it, we've got our multicam screen up. We've just seen Vileswarm move within 6 inches of Obulus, of Steve's Obulus, likely for that pass and dodge away.
Right.
But we shall see what happens over on this table. I mean, this is quite a tense final for these guys. This race to the finish.
So is the score on the Fisherman Alchemist game is now
10-8 to the
10-8.
Fisherman. Yeah.
So they need that one more takeout. I don't know if anyone else, it didn't look like anyone else was that close to being able to be taken down. But Corsair can put out decent damage if you stack them up.
Oh, we've just had word that Table 3 has ended 12-6 to Tim, so the Morticians claim another victory.
So the Butchers have fallen.
Butcher's fallen. Philip did lose a Civil War. She's obviously recoiling still.
She's still feeling the pain of her defeat last night.
Yeah.
To Brisket, not to Fillet, since she is Fillet.
Yeah.
I made that mistake earlier. Sorry, everyone.
Right, so the only 2 games remaining now are the Fisherman Alchemist game, which will likely be closed off soon, and the game we're watching currently, the Mortician versus Mortician, Ed Ball versus Steve Hinton.
Here comes a plot card.
Likely a defensive stance, I reckon. Yes, not defensive stance, the
Damage sponge?
damage sponge from attacks, possibly. Looks like Gas is knocked down on the floor, so just trying to keep the results from hitting too high. All right, let's see.
All right. An Obulus off.
I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Obulus shudder like 2 inches backwards, move 4 forwards towards Steve Obulus, try and Puppet Master it 2 pass to Vile Swarm. Vile Swarm dodges 4 inches away and gets to safety. Relative safety.
Then try to finish up 2 more takeouts.
Yep.
Or 1.5 more, 1 1/3 more takeouts with Veteran Graves.
Yep. Go get yourself to 11 and then just sit there and go, right, still got as much work to do as previously. Oh, word's just come in on table 2 is that Decimate just took out Corsair, so it's currently 10-10.
Oh, and with Corsair down,
that's
he's
the
got a
linchpin.
lot of potential for takeouts.
Yeah,
compared to some of the other models on that team.
I mean, the only other one really capable of doing that kind of closing this game off would be Gutter.
Right.
And
she certainly
doesn't seem to have any
can.
influence on her.
Well, and if we wrap to the next turn,
yeah.
Does that mean one of those other fishermen just plain keel over?
Yeah, with all these conditions. I mean, that's surely got to be something going through Steve's mind. If he can bring someone down just to 3 damage left,
right,
and he can starve the momentum from his opponent, then he wins in the maintenance phase.
Yeah, we don't know if Corsair was taken out before or after activating. My guess is after.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
It seems strange to hold back an activation that late, who's from such a strong player.
Would certainly make sense.
Yeah.
But 10-10, a lot of potential for some damage here.
Potential? It's a pun.
What?
Potential?
Oh,
It's 10-10.
brother, I didn't even catch that one. You and your puns.
Oh, dear.
I don't know if you did it intentionally or not, but earlier when you said...
Intentionally?
Oh, great. When you said missed made a mistake.
Oh, no, not earlier. No.
A lot of you guys are really into that bad pun thing for some reason.
I love it. And I don't apologize for it on the stream either.
Blake's the worst.
Blake is the worst at doing these. He'll probably be doing it now. He'll have heard his name,
Yeah.
heard the word pun, and just be spouting.
Ooh, that's a good roll. The ball is now
The ball is.
the ball's now dead. Never mind.
Ball's been kicked out by Steve to a place of no return, really.
Yeah. Not when it's 10-10.
Not when it's 10-10. I mean, no one's going to focus on getting that goal now. Someone has to go over there. That's at least two activations for any player to, 1, pick up the ball, and 2, get back in range. Looks like 2 momentum each on Steve's track in there. Spending it to remove conditions, likely. Or
It might be necessary just to stay in the game.
just to heal, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here comes what could potentially be the final activation here. Yeah. Or no. How much influence? Enough. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
It's a critical roll.
Is this a flask charge?
Intensify.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a way to end the game.
Okay, with flask.
A big old flask intensify
that's
engine.
That's a flask intensify going off. Wow.
Oh, but Gutter was still fairly healthy at that point, apparently.
Yeah. Well, if she's doing damage every turn,
right,
she's
she can get it back. She's the hardest one to probably finish off there because of being able to heal so much on her own.
With Life Drinker and Momentum on damage,
right.
she'll generate so much that she'll probably get 4 back from damage and then 4 from a heal.
Right.
She's negating the conditions on her quite effectively.
You should use coin. Get 5.
Yeah. Wrong guild.
Oh, right. Coin's only in the Union.
Yeah.
Well, Gutter's also only in the Union.
Yes. Oh, imagine if coin was selective.
No.
Could you imagine?
It is possible design-wise to make a mascot or captain with selective, but so far we've seen the Union mascots and captain are Union only, which also helps us to really maintain some of the Union's own flavor because they've got their own direction as well.
So if we just come away from this and back to table 1.
You want to come away from this? We're about to see the end of the game.
Oh, but
it's 10-10.
10-10.
Everybody's real wounded. Somebody's got to die right here.
Okay, we'll stay on this one. What I'm looking at on my other screen is I believe we are seeing Obulus, Puppet Master, the other Obulus. So Ed's Obulus, Puppet Mastering Steve's Obulus to pass the ball. We'll see. I think I see hands being moved very quickly, and a judge's hand come in. So we'll come back to that one when we've had a.
Yeah, let's see if they finished it up here or not. Checking melee distances. We got a lot of potential ganging up and crowding out.
Yeah, it's just,
so
it's
a critical
mess,
yeah.
In there now.
Which is what we expect from Alchemists.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
From Alchemist Fisherman.
yeah.
Those two well-known brawling factions.
Yep.
So Fisherman desperately trying to generate some momentum.
Yep. Oh,
that'll
do. Oh, on Flask.
Yeah.
The two low defense but high armor of Flask going on there.
Yeah. So I was thinking, where's that 2 armor come from that's negated 2? But yeah, You're right, Flask. And we still got Smoke to go. Who could be the one who comes in and just does that last few points of damage or brings someone down to...
Maybe. Smoke is not great at the damaging.
No. But with that much ganging up in there...
That's true.
If you can just bring someone down to 3 hit points left, then they will... Oh, no, she only got 1 influence. I thought it was more.
You get enough ganging up, and it makes anybody a true terror.
Yeah.
I had a coin attack for 4 damage the other day.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, so Smoke getting also into the thick of it for next turn.
Yep. That's a big gang up.
Yeah. Just on the Mortician off, we can confirm that Obulus did pass to Vile Swarm, and Vile Swarm dodged 4 inches away, as predicted.
Dragging that ball to safety, like you noted.
Yeah. So over here, we've started the new turn off. Obulus for Steve there with his stack of 8s. Maybe has won the initiative roll off.
I would think so.
Both on 8, so both looking for a goal to seal it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the 2 takedowns are possible, but that ball was in a much more live position than the Fisherman game.
Yeah. Which is such a strange occurrence.
Yeah?
That the Fisherman
Alchemists
aren't playing the ball game.
Yeah.
The Mortician off. Yep, all about the ball now.
Yep, get that ball in the goal. Which, depending on who wins, would be a 3-goal, no takedown victory.
Yeah.
Or a 1-goal, 3 takedown victory. We don't say that very often either.
All right, so if we go back to table 2, whilst the judges work out what looks like to be a charge line there.
Mm-hmm. So here we go.
Influence allocation. Currently
Jack is down to just 2 hit points. So even his tough hide is not going to save him now.
Save him here. Decimate, surely.
Yeah.
That, out of all your choices, Decimate's the one to go in and finish it off.
Well, and it's definitely also a bit of a maths game here as well. How many gang ups, how many crowd outs for different players? If you've got somebody who's kind of at the edge and can just claim 4 gang ups, finish it with Flask if you can.
Intensify.
Look at that intensify.
Oh, please.
You could win like 16-8 or 10.
So, who are we seeing doing it here?
That's actually not a bad idea at all if he's not suffering a lot of crowding out. Because with Jack on 2, we'll just have to see what the runners tell us here, because I think this is it.
Surely this must be. That's game.
Jack's on 1, and now Jack's on 0.
That's game. Yeah. 12-10. Alchemists go through.
A brutal, bloody Alchemists game.
Right, so if we can now switch back immediately to the Mortician's game, we can just follow this one to its closure now.
Sounds good.
Oh, look at that. There's Obulus versus Obulus in the bottom corner.
Another Obulus off.
Yeah. Obulus. Actually beating each other up.
So just to recap for you, we've got on table 1 is the one we're watching right now. This is the Morticians that's finishing up. On table 2, we saw the Alchemists victorious over the Fish in a very, very close game. Table 3, the Butchers suffered a defeat at the hand of more Morticians. And then on table 4, the Union. These names are backwards on my sheet.
Yeah.
But the Union fell to the Morticians as well.
Yeah, with a casketed black heart.
Yeah. And another takeout on Blackheart.
And
That's
another
just that
takeout.
double whammy on Blackheart's
Yeah.
just rough. Rough days, rough tides.
Yeah. No, different player.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You don't like my mixed, messed up puns? It's
No,
got to be
no,
pure.
Gotta be pure. Gotta be pure. Both players staring intently at the dice here, possibly willing a different
Yeah,
outcome.
counting them again and again.
How do
Come
they
on.
only hit with 2? I needed 3. Please change.
Right.
I always seem to have it in war games where you do a dice roll that's fairly standard, like 4 dice shot on gold, and you miss, and you're like, that's not fair. I should get a reroll for this. This doesn't normally happen.
Where's my luck token from Dark Souls?
Yeah, bring that in. So we still see the ball over on Vile Swarm. Could Vile Swarm finish the game?
I don't even know Vile Swarm's goal threat.
I believe it's...
It looks like he only has 1 influence, though.
yeah.
It's just not one of those numbers I've really thought about
No.
much. What's Vile Swarm's goal threat?
I believe he's a 6'8" with a 4-inch kick. So no.
So
No
12
is the
well,
answer
on
there.
1 influence, 10-inch goal threat? No, thanks. Not going to happen. We got the judge here.
Judge, yeah.
Figuring
I
out.
wonder what this call is about. So I've seen 3 of our players been knocked out so far. We've only got, 3 remain. One to go through. Down to 2 games to follow next time.
Yeah, next time we've got 2 Morticians already through, and we're going to have a Mortician through on this table.
Yeah, so 3 Morticians.
So we will have another Obulus off, and we'll have an Alchemists versus Morticians game to call for you next round.
Yeah. So likelihood is we're going to see, there will be a Mortician in the final.
Yep.
So we're going to have a Mortician, at least one Mortician's team in the final.
I would like it to be Morticians against Alchemists because that's easier to call.
Yeah, that's easy to call, and it's also easy to commentating over. We don't have to.
We don't have to be like, and the
Deliberate.
other silence does
Yeah.
this. Although the colors on this team
colours on this
has
team are
helped
fine.
us a lot.
Yeah.
The ghostly Morticians against the golden Morticians.
Yeah, you have to get into the habit of saying Ed's Obulus.
Yep,
and
that
Steve's
works as well, yeah.
Obulus.
Very
Wow,
close
this
call
is-
here.
this
This is
is-
some precision.
Yeah. That's Bryce there.
Yeah.
He shaved his head recently, so has to wear that hat everywhere because he's got a very cold head.
Maybe you shouldn't have shaved it.
I know, that's what I thought as well.
All right. Let's see what the final. Oh, that's definitely within 2.
Yeah. I guess we're trying to check the shadow like 2 inches at a weird angle.
Yeah. Can the Shadow Light get him up onto the obstacle or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Small movements are pretty tough around obstacles, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And even though it gave him enough distance, it didn't generate momentum like the 1-inch dodges would have.
No.
Without, which might have been possible without that obstacle in the way.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's where Steve wants to end up after he's
Done some
otherwise.
shenanigans.
Yeah, after the shenanigans. Or he's just killing time. In some weird way. I don't know how it would work.
You more likely you want to kill your opponent's clock than
Yeah,
your
your
own,
own,
but
Maybe it's a strange psych out technique. So Obulus v Obulus.
and this game is still on 8-8, I believe. I don't
Yeah.
think we've had another takedown on this
Nothing's
table.
happened since
Yep.
then.
You're talking about mascots earlier in Season 3 and how they're only 1 victory point now.
Yeah.
we'll have some interesting results. It's like, oh, he won with 8 takedowns. Whoa.
You killed the mascot 8 times?
8 takedowns and a goal? No. I just meant 8 takedowns for a butcher team. It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have 12 takeout games.
No.
Yes, it's
That's
possible.
just brutal.
The poor mascot.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
The entire butcher team just run into the end zone.
Yeah, sure.
Into that end.
That's such a long game. That's 13 turns. Or 12, yeah. Comes back 11 times.
Yeah. I really don't want to bring him back. Oh, you've got to. You don't have a choice in the matter anymore. Oh. All the while denying the ball.
Yeah, wherever it may be.
So Ed's gotten his 2-inch reach widget out there.
Yeah.
Obviously checking to see if when Obulus gets to that first marker, when he charges Vile Swarm to get the ball.
Right.
Whether
Staying
he's
out of... Yep.
Pass through Ed's Obulus melee range, see if he gets the parting blow or not.
Yeah, I need to actually get a set of those melee zone templates. They're more convenient than the 2-inchers and stuff.
I mean, the fact that they are curved and show
right.
circular,
They show the true arc rather than just a single point like a 2-inch stick or bar will do. This is close. This is so close. I wonder if possibly Vile Swarm should have... Oh, no, he couldn't drop the ball. It wasn't his activation. It was the...
during
Yep.
Obulus's.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm sure, yes, drop the ball is the most sensible
Oh,
option.
absolutely, yeah. These players would know that better than me. I immediately realized my mistake. Just to pass.
Yeah. So, assuming that Steve did get the first turn in this one.
Yeah, and this is kind of for the game right here.
Yeah, I mean, if Ed won the initiative, I don't understand why he's not just run Vile Swarm away.
Yeah, just sprint off somewhere and drop the ball.
Unsnap the ball.
Yeah.
Play the game he wants to play with. Just kill 2 more things.
Yeah, and there's a couple of good spots to do that. Maybe even just run off into the trees and drop it deep in the woods.
Deep in the woods, yeah. Forget about it. Leave Rage to prowl around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because while an 8 influence Obulus can take down 1 player reliably, 2 is uncommon.
Yes, very much so. I guess we'll have to see here. Judges monitoring everything that's going on currently on the top table here. I say top table, it's the first round. It's just
the final one we're commentating on, yeah.
Oh, so we see Obulus is actually already there. He's tagging the ball for the win. Hit it again.
Oh.
Generate some momentum.
Here comes a plot card. Possibly Damage Sponge? That hasn't been used yet on this table, as far as I know.
I think we saw it. I thought we saw it earlier with Gas, but possibly not.
Yeah, this is the one table with Gast for this round.
Yeah, it's strange.
He's on a bunch of the rosters, but I think he was the only one we saw this round.
Yeah. Very close. One more attack, and then we've got 1 left for the shot on goal.
Yeah.
So, generate that momentum.
He's on 1 momentum now, right?
Assuming there was a 2-inch dodge earlier.
Yeah. So now he's trying to generate that second momentum so it can be a bonus timed shot on goal rather than a straight shot. Yep.
Oh, there it is. That was a shot on goal. We see the 6 there.
And that'll do.
Steve Newton takes it, 12-8.
Very close there.
Right.
3-0. 3 goals against 3 takedowns, but 8 victory points.
Yeah,
that was a very good game. Yeah.
Right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the first round. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes with round 2 when we'll be concentrating on 2 games.
We will have Morticians against Morticians, as well as Morticians against Alchemists.
Yep.
And both of us will be back with you at that time. So go ahead and have a 10-15 minute break, and we will see you then.
Yep.